Race fans, good evening and welcome to Indiana, the Hoosier State, where tonight we take a trip to Speedway, Indiana, the birthplace of speed on the iconic and historic great house that Penske built, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as the Metalheads Truck Series get ready to wage war out here on the one and only iconic Indianapolis Motor Speedway, or in NASCAR terms, the Brickyard, here tonight in prime time. Good evening. Welcome to Ghost Racing Network. Matt Metler up in the Tony Trapassa Memorial booth as we currently peek in on qualifying this evening, as Nate Cogdell currently has the pole wrapped up here so far, as we have about 4 minutes into this qualifying session. So just a little less than a minute remaining as these drivers get racked, stacked, ready to rock and roll here tonight in prime time, which will be a high-octane thriller. I can assure you that it will be here from the checkered flag, or from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Ghost Racing Network. So buckle up, strap in, get ready for all the high-flying, high-octane racing action as these trucks get ready to put on a one-of-a-kind thriller here tonight. Want to thank you all for joining us here on Redline Racing Network. Is these drivers so much on the line? You can feel the intensity building. Had a chance to talk to some of these drivers in the chat tonight. They said, Matt, it's going to take patience. It's going to take a good bit of drafting, and you're going to have the lug nuts to send it through the corners if you want to survive and be alive and perhaps come away with a win here at Indianapolis. Qualifying just about getting ready to finish up here. 75 laps around this facility. Going to clock in about 190 miles the distance. As this field now gets racked and stacked behind that iRacing.com pace truck. Let's go ahead and get ready to go through the starting grid. Going to try to vibe up, do something a little different here tonight. Add a little swagger to the starting lineup. Why not? It's Indy after all. Gotta nod your head to this. Okay, Matt, get out of DJ mode. We got a race. Let's go ahead and throw up the starting grid here tonight. From somewhere in the south, Nate Cogdell piloting that double zero machine. He's going to have the pole. Well, outside of him, the big bad trailer, the David version in the 54, going to roll off P2. Caleb Kleinert in the 19 machine. He's going to roll off P3, while Matt Canana is going to kick off here in that fourth place machine. Fifth belongs to Clinton Woodby in the 92 ride, while Kevin Winker is going to roll off just outside the top 5 and 6. That one machine, piloted by Brent C. Evans, going to start here in 7th, while Ashley Ellison Jr., let's see what he has in the 133 as he rolls off here 8th. Starting 9th, Dylan going to try to do a lot of passing as he works his way towards the front. Is good for that 9th place starting position, while Rusty Modesty is going to round out your top 10. From 3-6 Mafia Racing, Matt Hayden in the 5 ride. From Brant, Arkansas, they're having a lot of live and weather out there this evening. A lot of severe weather. Hopefully he is safe as there is fury on the plains this evening. Jacob Ellison is going to roll off here 12th, while Michael Madden 13th. The 3 machine going to start here in P14, while Nick Gardner going to round out the top 15. Haas Beverly, Haas is boss, in the 22. While Dennis Steele is going to, in the 9 rides, going to roll off 17th, while Brett Summers going to roll off here in that 18th place position. Isaac Smallwood's going to round out the top 20. A long way for him to go through this field here tonight. Jesse Calloway going to start 21st, as that order does not want to work with me here for a second. Bear with me, folks. Jimmy Maurice going to start 22nd as that field now begins to roll. Michael Newman is going to have to do big things coming from the back in 23rd, while Dylan J. Pass is going to start 24th shotgun on the field as we get ready to rock and roll here for 75 high-octane, high-energy, thrilling laps from these seasoned veterans here in the Metalheads Truck Series. Let's go ahead now and send it to the front of this thing. Lights go out on the pace truck. Let's see if somewhere in the south leads to somewhere in victory lane. Nate says throw it in hard, drive it out fast, and that's exactly what it's going to take here if you want to come away with the victory. That field is prime, shuffled, sorted. Sold out crowd here tonight. Joining us for the Tyger Construction 190 here at the Brickyard. Calm before the storm right now. 24 competitors ready to take the initial green flag here. Green flag in the air on the loud pedal. We climb up through the gearbox and we are racing here at the Brickyard. Listen to the roar of those V8s as we get up to speed here now, coming out of the turns 1 and 2 complex. Oh, we got trouble in the back already. Caution out on the racetrack, and we had mayhem kick off towards the back of this thing. Oh man, that Havoline 28 machine's in it. Jacob Ellison in the 91. Bad things happening. And the Mountain Dew ride right off the initial rip here. I know that truck says do the do. He about did the wall. As we just got rid of the pace truck, now we're going to have to throw it back out there on the field again. As that caution shows its evil face here. With not even one lap in the books. Let's take a look here at the start of this race. As we go back to the Ghost Racing Network instant replay. Keep your eye on the 91 machine. Watch that Mountain Dew truck. You see the flames are throwing here. These trucks getting off the loud pedal. You cannot keep it wound up. Oh, the 91 just checks out to lunch on him. Let's roll that back a couple frames. Yikes. 28 gets involved. He goes helicopter mode right round. The good news, the silver lining, still a long way to go in this race, and I'm not seeing much damage to both those two competitors. Let's go ahead and wind this back again. This track, well over 2 miles in length, should have plenty of time to do this. Send it up to the eye in the sky. Oh, yeah, the 3 comes in and just uncorks a howitzer on the side of the 91. Gets him bent out of shape. The 28's going to try to thread the needle here, and he can't quite make it fit. Back of that truck pops up in the air momentarily. The EcoBoost goes Eco Pop. As we now send it back to the live side of things. Not surprised to see a couple trucks down pit road here early, including the 91 of Ellison Jr. As you see that TRD machine on pit road, there's the Dew crew. Havoline EcoBoost F-150 on pit road as well. It's a 91 now down and away. Silverado begins that slow crawl off of pit road, which feels like an eternity, especially when you compare pit road speed out there to the speeds we're going to be seeing in excess of 180 miles an hour out there tonight on the racetrack. Send it back up to the front. Trailer continues to lead here. Your Nate Cogdill in the 00. Your pole sitter is going to lose a spot here to the 54. However, he will stay on the front row. We have another cluster of trucks coming down pit road here. Matt Hayden in the 5, leading that charge, leading that group of trucks down. Ashley Ellison Jr. in the 5th, in that 13 machine. Isaac Smallwood on pit road as well. Or excuse me, Isaac Smallwood, he's going to stay on the racetrack. In that Toyota. Well, we have some time here. Let's take a look at the weather this evening. Sim time clocking in just after 2:30 p.m. Central Time. For all your military fans, that's 1434. Winds out of the east at 6 miles an hour. Could be gusting 10 to 12. Ambient air temperature pretty warm for this time of the year. We're already past Halloween, getting into the holiday season, in 75 degrees ambient air temperature. 31% relative humidity, overcast skies, and that's going to basically cause that track to come in or clock in just under 80 degrees. So these trucks are going to be making all the grip out there. And again, spoke with a few of these drivers pre-race before the broadcast kicked off, and they all said it felt pretty stable, secure, and bad fast in the draft. So we now clear that information out of the way. Lights go out on that iRacing.com pace truck. Let's give the paints a quick refresh here one more time. Logo White Day will come back in. Here we go on the restart. Let's get ready to do it all over again. Trailer gonna lead the charge here to chaos. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air. He's gonna punch it through the floorboards. And here we go. Back to green flag racing at the Brickyard. What a restart by Trailer. He's going to shoot away clean. We were the high side of the racetrack. It's getting awful busy up there. The 00 pretty much tried to throw the block. Cat Anna ain't having any of it. He's going to sling it down to the inside. He's got a lot of help there. Already bump drafting. Oh, the 42 goes with the 00. But they don't have enough up. The 18 is going to be able to get around, and the 00 is hemorrhaging positions here early as he has been under heavy attack here. Almost caught a piece of the wall as we do the Indy snake down the front stretch. Man, wait, these guys are attacking these straightaways. You would think it's 2 or 3 laps to go, but it's anything but. Cat Anna just turned fastest lap of the race. Locked it in at a 53.74. Tell you what, Trailer has got some serious boogie under that TRD hoodie. The 318 machine. Oh, he gets a piece of the wall just as I was dabbing him up a little bit. Look at the aggression on the straightaways. You talk about being aggressive here early. I mean, we're really exploring the space out there, guys. trying to break the draft, anything they can do to get an advantage. Caleb Kleiner there in the 196. Let's go on board with the driver who's currently holding down that 4th place position. Hold your breath. It's like being shot out of a cannon down these straightaways that feel like they go on for eternity. Look how he sends that into the corner. Almost gets a piece of the curving there as he fires back off down the short chute here. Or excuse me, the back straightaway. You can see that draft starting to have an effect there as he's able to close in on the back of 00 just in front of him. Nate holds that final position, final money spot on the podium. Nate has it, Kleiner wants it. He also gets a piece of the wall. That's going to cost him some momentum. Let's widen it back out. Let's see if that 42 is going to get a run, and there he is. He almost had enough to challenge. 42 a Winker. Winker Nation in the house tonight. Single file conveyor belt style at over 180 miles an hour. So we now work lap 9 of 75. Winker up one spot in that 5th place position while Clinton Woodby currently owns B number 6 on the board, while the one machine piloted by Brett C. Evans in 7th. Some big movers already in the back half of the field. Michael Newman, who pretty much started shotgun in this piece, already up 14 positions. He's knocking on the back door of the top 10 already. He has been up on the wheel getting it moving. It's Maurice having a solid run here in the early going, up 11 spots in 12. Great looking paint scheme on his ride here tonight. How about that Genesee Beer Brewing Company paint scheme on that 33? Genesee, New York. That's one of those beers, if you know, hey, you know. If you don't know about it, you got to try it. They even have a cream ale. That's going to be featured in the white and green can. Yeah, that's right. I know about the Jenny cream ale, buddy. 2 wide, just up ahead of the Jenny ale, the Geneseo beer machine. Look at this. The John Force special into the corner. Keith Prince on the high side. Bolton Hardy. Eaton on the bottom. Big time Hail Mary there with the 97. He's going to stuff it in there. As Prince holding on now to that 10th place position. But it is hot and heavy trench warfare, World War II style right here. As now Newman challenges once again. Newman knocking on the back door. Might have to play offense and defense here. If we're going to give him plenty of real estate to work with there. You don't want to get too high up the hill, though. It's easy to shoot up into that wall, especially carrying all that momentum off the corner. Ooh, 12 got a little loose there. As that top lane should prevail with those 3 trucks tucked in line. That's going to propel the 3 past the 12. The 16 and the 4 are going to try to work together here perhaps and follow suit. Come one, come all. No, the 4 is going to try to go through the middle. Or thought about it at least. These guys driving out there on the racetrack like they're the Blue Angels. Putting on a show. Let's go on board with Newman as he gets it done around here. Bring you right to the trenches. From across Wisconsin. Talked about the speeds these guys were turning here. That 33 is going to get a run here on the high side. Let's take a look at his live telemetry. 196 miles an hour coming off the corner as he gets back on the loud pedal. Almost 190 miles an hour before he has to bark it. Into the short chute here. Now he's going to give this car all the cojones, or this truck everything it's got. There's 180. 191 into the corner. Absolutely incredible speeds currently being laid down by these competitors tonight. Let's see if Fitz Maurice has some Fitz magic in the tank. 3-6 racing. Oof. That impact really, even that a bit of an aggressive bump draft there, didn't really seem to upset the 33. Keep note for you guys at home. Timing and scoring has. The 33 is the 88. So just keep a note of that. This is battle hot and heavy right here. I mean, there is a cluster of trucks, and they just running side by side is allowing these guys single file behind them to reel this battle in. And the Hornet's Nest on the racetrack is right around that 12th place position. Michael Newman is in the thick of it. Take a peek back up here at the front. It is all trailing. Trolling everybody. Trolling the competition right now. As he has over a 2-second advantage right now. Ooh, a couple drivers going to peel off down pit road here. That's, oh, are you kidding me? What did we just witness? Hit the brakes. We got to take a look at this. I think a pit stop almost went ablaze here. Oh, the 97 locked up all 4 tires and somehow was able to get that truck back out of the racing surface. Most of the times that happens, you end up eating concrete there. But nonetheless, that's going to cost him a ton of time on the racetrack. As Evans comes down pit road. As we resume this multiple truck battle here. Just outside the top 10. Hayden now up 1 position in the 5 ride. He has basically stapled himself to the back of the 12 with Michael Newman. We now work 18 of lap 75. They draft down the backstretch. I mean, this battle was really hot and heavy. 2, sometimes 3 wide. Noah's Ark situation. And these guys probably figured, hey, we still got a long way to go. You can't win it on lap 1 or lap 15, 18. You got to survive and be alive at the end of these things, so they probably elected to dial it back just a little bit. Back up to second place, Kevin Winker. Having a good run here in that beautiful 42. Dogdale, your pole sitter in the 00, slipped back a couple spots, but he has stopped the hemorrhaging, holds on to that third place position. In fifth, Mr. Excitement, Dylan Pass. Always a guy who's not afraid to go full send out there on the racetrack. Eating good in the neighborhood, up 6 positions. Now in P3. As he runs about almost a full second behind Cogden. You can see the 5 coming off of pit road there. More trucks completing pit stops under green flag conditions here. This should help stretch the field out a little bit. As we're now written 20 laps of the scheduled 75 into the history books, we're going to step aside and take our first all-out coverage break. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to miss a thing right here on Ghost Racing Network. Race fans, good evening and welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the town of Speedway, Indiana. Drivers out there competing, grueling it out on the racetrack. As now caution comes out on the Speedway. Just as we break back into coverage here this evening. Is Ashley Ellison, your current leader in that 133 machine, up 7 spots from where he started. However, that lead that he had accumulated, well, it's about to evaporate. See, Trailer comes up, or excuse me, Ellison Jr. comes up there, gives him a little glove tap. In fact, it almost makes it look like he's out of fuel as the 196 is giving up the business. I believe he's still under power, though. Oh, wait a minute. He might be out of fuel. I'm not seeing any lights on the tachometer. He ran that thing dry. Thank God for having a battle buddy out there on the racetrack with the hybrid assist there. Let's follow him down into his pit stall. Once that Sunoco fuel hits that fuel cell, we should see him fire that truck back up. There he goes. So indeed, Ellison Jr., perhaps saved by a teammate out there on the racetrack, is flirting with disaster, trying to figure out just how far you can stretch it. Well, he's figured that out. And saved by that caution, quite frankly. Trailer continues to put on a strong performance here in the early going. Last pitted on lap 21. In fact, let's take a look at the pit stop strategy vector. Trailer in on lap 21. Winker ran 19 laps. He's up 4 spots. And here we go once again. Come one, come all. Is that data a little bit irrelevant now as pit road becomes the hottest place in the joint, as almost everyone down on pit road. Let's see who can be clutch here on pit road and get it done. There's your pole sitter. Coming into the first pit box, you want to get all 4 tires inside the box. That's costly right there when you got to pop it in reverse. First truck down and away. Looks like it's going to be no surprise. The 196 machine getting it done once again on pit road. However, we cycle back to the front of this piece. The 17 up not 5, not 10, but 20 positions. As he pit last on lap 25. Remember, some of these trucks were involved on that initial start mishap. As I'm not quite sure. 17's almost coming to a stop on the high side of the racetrack here, so he's going to hemorrhage a ton of positions here. He almost actually got a piece of the wall there in that Goodyear Silverado. So take what I previously said, crumple it up, throw it out the window. It's going to turn the lead back over. His trailer's being currently scored P1. Haas, Beverly, Madden out of this race early, so 2 trucks on the hauler thus far. In fact, tonight, got to thank and shout out Tyger Contracting for jumping on board, being the primary race sponsor tonight. Cannot thank them enough for everything they do and their support for the Metalheads Truck Series, as they sponsor this 190-mile race here from the birthplace of speed, right here in Speedway, Indiana. At field now, racked, restacked, ready to rock and roll once again. That means we're going to get back to the good stuff. Back to the good part. Green flag racing here from Indianapolis, as we get to uncork these boys loose one more time, and my God, they were putting on a show. Tell you what, that 42 has been strong. That Linker Nation on the back. '16 digging deep with some great strategy to gain positions out there on the racetrack. However, no one's done that better than Jesse Calloway thus far. Biggest mover of the race. Up 17 positions in that 7th place position. Here we go. Trailer gonna have the button. He approached the Geico restart zone. He's gonna put it through the floorboards. Green flag in the air, and my God, he catches the field on the snooze button. Everyone but the 18, or the 318. You almost cannot see the 3. Oh, someone got used and abused. That liquid death trip got heated. Jesse Calloway, I was just talking about him and all that track position he got. Well, it's just blown up in his face. He now gets that Silverado up to speed now. That's going to slot him all the way back to 17. That's going to put him right where he doesn't want to be. Right in all the shenanigans on the racetrack. Look at this battle here at the back of the pack. We're pretty much single file up here at the front. Trailer carries the torch. Can-Am is following in close proximity, while Clinton Woodby commands the 3rd place position. Trailer putting up some phenomenal lap times right now. Oh my God, we have a big time calamity breaking out as that racetrack gets plugged and we got trucks blasting all over the place. Multiple trucks involved as every escape artery gets plugged up. The 11's back there doing donuts, trying to get pointed the right way. The 33 was parked up against the fence. Somebody got dumped point blank in broad daylight. Let's go back to the GRN instant replay. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. That incident kind of came into frame at the last minute here, so we're going to go old school VHS mode. This is painful to watch. You talk about getting dumped. Sky ground, sky ground. Here we go. Send it up to the eye in the sky here. You can see the smoke in front of these guys. You see the flames popping out of the Genesee beer machine. Oh, the 33 is just full send. And he's going to go X Games mode and then watch the shot administered by that Hendrick Cars machine. I mean, Pass got, or Ellis, or is that Pass in the 11? Yeah, Dylan Pass got peppered. Let's roll this back one more time. Go on board with the 11. His day is going to come to an abrupt end here. He became the stuffing in the Thanksgiving turkey. Oh, the 5 tries to perhaps go 3 wide here. Checks up, but then the 11 comes up too far up the hill. The air hoss just bossed the 11. Lowriders him right around. The 22 is going to follow suit. And the 11 now is just like a hockey puck out there on the racetrack. Parks it off there, bangs it off the inside fence. Now watch this. He comes to a stop, worst place possible, and kapow. The 33, or the 133 takes off like a space shuttle. And then just slides on its lid as then Kleinert comes in and administers another shot. Watch the 3 get skinny here. Makes just a little bit of contact with that concrete barrier. We're going to have a couple torn up trucks here after this one. Under caution here at Indianapolis for a multi-truck incident. We're going to step aside, pay some bills. We'll be right back momentarily on Ghost Racing Network. Race fans, welcome back to Indianapolis as we remain under caution as that iRacing.com pace truck back leading the field here. Want to thank everyone for joining us here on Ghost Racing Network this evening. As these boys under the lights in prime time. Well, technically it's the nighttime, is the right time to watch these guys light it up in prime time. However, sim time, mid-afternoon here out on the racetrack. Want to thank all you guys for tuning in, joining us for all the high-flying, high-octane racing action each and every time the Metalheads Truck Series hits the racetrack. Kevin Winker, currently your leader. Up there in the Great Lakes region, Wisconsin. Winker Nation representing on the racetrack. And I'll tell you what, his fan base is showing up in the chat. Tower operator coming in tonight saying hashtag Winker Nation. Shauna Rita as well. Appreciate you guys being here and showing some love to the driver of the 42 as he currently leads the charge here tonight. Trailer, your pole sitter, currently even with the board. He's in that second place position. He's had some big time speed out of that 54 machine, especially out in front. It's the calm before the storm once again. The pace truck leads this field. Sold out crowd here. You can see those stands are packed with fans. Winker carries the torch. He's going to lead him back to green. "25 drivers took the initial green flag. Mark Beverly in the 55 and Michael Madden in the 15 have exited this race early. They have packed it up on the hauler. So it looks like they'll be credited with 24th and 25th place finishes respectively. So they cannot gain any more positions out there on the racetrack unless they resume competition. But even at this rate, I think that's a long stretch. Let's see how Winker plays this chess match here on this restart. Time to wipe the dust, kick the clutch, hope that rear end doesn't bust. Let's do it again. Approaching the Geico restart zone. Oh, the 54 does the jig, almost gets spun. And Winker puts some serious meat to the pavement, and he gets going. What a restart by the 42. Able to keep trailer pinned behind him. Side by side, just behind him for third place. As the 42 breaks the draft. Great restart there. Heads up driving inside of that Chevrolet. Trailer, the first Toyota in line as he owns that second place position. As we get single filed back out here once again and do the jig going down the front stretch. Game of follow the leader. Trailer almost bumped the concrete there. F42 wants to retain this lead bad. He knows how important track position is. You can see just how aggressive he's attacking these straightaways, trying to do everything he can to keep the 54 and the 318 at bay. We now work lap 39 of 75. Let's go on board and go through the field here on Ghost Racing Network. Starting off with your leader, Kevin Winker. Up 5 positions from where he started. The Wisconsin man has the plan here, at least right now, as he carries the torch here. Owns the lead at Indianapolis. Trailer, your pole sitter, currently in that second place position. From Georgia, that's about 8 hours up the road from here, or at my location here in Florida. Well, at least to the Georgia line anyhow. Matt Canana, currently in third. Whitman would be in the 92, having a strong run, smooth as that Tennessee whiskey. The 92 right in fourth. Well, Isaac Smallwood is going big time in prime time, up 14 positions in fifth. Ashley Ellison Jr. just outside the top 5, knocking on the back door in that 6th place position. Well, the 11 of Pass currently resides in 7th. Well, Nick up 8 positions in that 8th place position. Pilot in the 16 machine will be HMFIC of the league, Nate Cogdell. From somewhere in the south, somewhere on the racetrack, happens to be that 9th place position. Callaway is carving them up earlier. And he's had to come from a next county over. He started this thing in the rear with the gear. North Carolina, up 14 positions. 17. Currently resides in 11th, while Rusty Modesty owns the 12th place position. From 3-6 Racing, from Bryan, Arkansas, Matt Hayden, as he takes a peek here on the inside. Man, he commits to that corner. Have mercy. I mean, he just set a full-blown ripper in there. Well, at least he's backing up what he said pre-race. He said, Matt, you can't hold back. You gotta have some big lug nuts on that race truck and just send it. You gotta commit. That's exactly what he did. Brett Summers from Palm Bay. If that's the case, the Palm Bay I'm thinking of, that's about 45 minutes north of me. As he currently owns that 14th place position, rounding out your top 15, Dennis Steele in the 9 ride from Jacksonville, another Florida man out there on the racetrack tonight. Prince, the Keith version, in Fairhope, Alabama. Has some work cut out for him here, as he's been involved in some extracurricular activities out there on the racetrack. It's a good battle here, brewing between the 28, Brent Evans. Look at this run he gets down the straightaway here. It's this battle for 17th on the racetrack. Well, Jimmy Fitzmaurice tries to file that dangerously cheesy Toyota through the hornet's nest. Boss's boss from Ohio in 19th in the 22. Colton Hardy rounds out your top 20 from Petersburg, West Virginia. Newman, Wisconsin, representing here tonight in the 12th in that 21st place position. Will Kleiner strong early. Biggest probably loser of the race as he's gone the wrong way in the scoring pylon. Currently all the way back in that 20th place position. Ellison Jr. 23rd. And Mark Beverly and Michael Madden, as I mentioned earlier, have retired from the race as they round out the 25 drivers that started this race, as we now send it back up to the point. Winker under siege now, his trailer starting to turn up the excitometer inside the cockpit of the 42. Continues to snake down these long straightaways. It's a 3-truck breakaway here at the front. Winker, Trailer, and Cat-Anna. These 3 drivers are pretty much in a league in their own as far as the lap time goes. I mean, these guys are almost in the 52-second bracket. 53.09 for Trailer that time by. And all 3 of these drivers pretty much mirroring the same lap times. All this next group of cars, some side-by-side action here. These guys are in the 30 or the 53.40s. Matt Hayden there. That Eagle 1 paint scheme, he's taking a peek to the inside. These guys know how to put on a great show each and every time they are live here on Ghost Racing Network. And I'll tell you what, when it does go bad, whew, you always get your money's worth at home. Oh, Hayden almost got served breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. He tries to send it now around the outside. Going up against the Napa Know-How machine. Winker continues to use all that veteran experience on these iRacing.com servers to keep some stiff competition behind him at bay, as David continues to try to find a way around that 42. Again, these 3 trucks have almost a 3-second advantage over Isaac Smallwood, the biggest mover of the race in 4th. Oh, the 54 got a big run there. The 42 just has so much boogie under the hoodie on those straightaways. Just cannot seem to get enough of a run in that Toyota to challenge Winker for the lead. And in fact, those 2 trucks now starting to pull away from the 318 just a little bit. He's in jeopardy of losing their draft. Time by at the line. Officially, 50 laps being written into the history books tonight. If we have a moment, let's check back in on the weather. That wind has died down to just 4 miles an hour, pretty much a non-factor right now. Air temperature holding steady at that 74-degree mark. Humidity's climbed up a couple points, but these trucks still making all the power as it's barely 30%. And that track temp up 1 degree to 79. The track temp, I believe, is 78 degrees at the drop of the green flag. As Winker's going to pull off, give up the lead, and he's going to come down pit road. No mistakes here. Flawless execution coming onto pit lane for the 42. Winker crawls down pit road at a snail's pace compared to the speeds as they go by him on the front straight. He's going to park it in his box. Comes to a stop. Beautiful execution there. You see the jack going up. The Dr. Feelbad's coming off. Dr. Feelgood's going to go on here. 2 cans of Go Fast, a.k.a. Sunoco Racing Fuel. He is down and away. Great pit stop. He is back under speed, or coming back up to speed on this long access road. You got to come around all the way through the short chute here before you can put it back to the surface. Let's see if this brings down the rest of the trucks on the lead lap here. As 24 laps remain, that could be the money stop. Trailer now opens up. But 0.8 of a second advantage over. Come one, come all. Just as I was saying, here comes David Trailer. Going to try to stay on a similar strategy here to Winker. So that's going to cycle to 54, back to the lead. The thing is, you don't want to get caught staying out too long, especially by yourself. Don't have a drafting partner. Is now with green flag pit stops underway. It's David Trailer, Smallwood, Clinton Woodby, Nick Gardner, and Matt Hayden. That's your top 5. No surprise, Hayden is in the Hornets' nest once again here. Chevrolet in the 17 takes a peek to the inside, using a little bit of a side draft there. Side by side through the corner, going up against Pass on the outside lane. He gets loose. He stuffs it in behind the Goodyear machine. High-octane, close quarters racing here. Battle for 7th, alive and thriving. Ellison Jr. is going to pull it down the racing surface to pit road. Kind of locks the tires up there a little bit. You don't want to get caught speeding. Sport trucks here now come down pit road for their final stop, or should be their final stop. Just north of 21 laps remaining here from Speedway, Indiana, live on Ghost Racing Network, the Metalheads Truck Series. Doing battle out there on the racetrack. We're going to step aside, take our final break, and be back with the remaining competition here. Find out who's going to come away with a big-time victory here at this iconic racetrack right here on Ghost Racing Network. Race fans, good evening and welcome back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway here for some Brickyard action brought to you by the Metalheads Truck Series as we resume coverage here for the Tyger Contracting 190 here as it has been a high-octane thriller. Matt Metler up in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth as Kevin Winker is out in his own zip code right now. 7.98 second advantage over David Traylor as Winker is out here putting on a clinic. Is Winker Nation showing up tonight in the YouTube.com live chat? What a drive, what a performance out of the 42. Can he close the deal? Can he get it done? As he pretty much has it set to autopilot right now. Let's go on board with the 42, see how he gets around this facility. Keep in mind, he is out there by himself right now. The draft really effective here. Typically, is going to get you a little couple points in the speed department, especially on the straightaways. But hey, no help, no problem. Keep an eye on that tachometer there. That's 6,600 through the corner off. The corner number 4 back on the loud pedals. He pushes it through the floorboard. Throw up his onboard telemetry. And still, with no help, no battle buddy, almost 190 miles an hour as he sends it off into turn 1. That truck is an absolute ripper right now. Kevin Winker laying the smack down on the competition tonight. Really got it done on pit road too as well. Had the best sequence coming off of pit road the lap before. Time spent on pit road in the box, and I mean that really shows up here in the differential. I mean, there's the 42 there coming across the start-finish line. And there is the second place truck. I mean, he might as well be the distance from between Florida to California with that big of a lead. Let's not discount what Matt Hayden has done, though. Started outside of the top 10. Up 9 positions here for that Eagle 1 Valvoline machine. Or Eagle 1 Cummins machine. Like the marketing slogan says, TRD, let's go places. And he is going to the front, and he has climbed the leaderboard all the way to that second place position. Trailer in the 54, another Toyota. Toyota's run second and third here. Also had a stellar night. You know, if this cluster of trucks can somehow get together and utilize that draft to now close out that telemetry, you know, they might be able to start eating into that lead. But I mean, Kevin right now, he is just uber focused and ultra locked. Closest battle right there on the racetrack. That's going to be just outside the top 10 for that 11th place position. As I take that back, now it's starting to heat up there for 9th. Is the HMFIC of the league. Head cook, chief, and bottle washer there. Then the 00 starts to apply the pressure to Ellison Jr. Three Chevrolets here. 54 now. Catches the tailgate there of the 5 ride, bringing the 16 with him in tow. Time is starting to run out here. You can see the intensity starting to pick up out there on the racetrack. Oh, big time aggressive move there. His trailer just stuffs it in front of that other Toyota. 16 going to follow him right on by. Come one, come all. You can do it. I can do it too. Hayden's going to hemorrhage a couple spots here. Next in line to challenge for 4th, Callaway, who's currently in 5th, up 19 positions, by the way. No challenge for Winker out in front, as he has an eternity between himself and that 2nd place position. We're going to keep it locked here, at least in the short term. As these guys battle, about 10 seconds off of the lead pace. Let's go back to the second group of this tandem group here. Kyle Larson inspired paint scheme on that Toyota, and that just messes with me every time I see that truck out there. Because you automatically think it's a Hendrick.com paint scheme, which you associate with Chevrolet, but not the case, as you have that TRD badge, that Toyota nameplate on the front of that thing. From a manufacturer standpoint, good balance throughout the field. However, the Ford guys are the few and the proud here. I did not have this in the cards. Winker peels off under green flag conditions and gives up the lead. I thought he had enough juice in the tank to go the distance. I was wrong. Perhaps everyone's going to come up a little bit short here. I thought that last pit stop, we were going to be good for the checkered flag here. I thought overtime, if we had to go to overtime, pull that joker out of the sleeve, if you will, that maybe fuel would have became an issue then. But apparently, with as fast as these guys are running right there, they just didn't have enough go fast in the tank to get the checkered flag. Wonder if anyone's going to try to stretch this out. My, how fast things can change out there on the racetrack. As now we're side by side, door to door. John Force special for the lead here. It is a grudge match drag race. They're still side by side. We're inches off one another. Ooh, the 54 got a little loose there. He stays in. It keeps his foot in the meat. Now the 16 does the jig off the bottom. He's going to look to slingshot him here going into the turns 1 and 2 complex. Waits for the 4 to... Who does the 4 go with here? The 4 is going to go to the high side. He's going to help the Toyota. Gives him the push to the 54. The trailer absolutely got an early Christmas gift there. I would have assumed the Chevrolet would have went with the other Chevrolet, that Napa Know-How truck, but not the case. Six laps to go. David Traylor Jr. last down on lap 55. The 16 lap 56. In fact, all these trucks inside the top 5, top 6, down on laps between 55 and 56. Can they go the distance? Let's go on board with Trailer, see if there's any sign of him trying to save fuel here. Not seeing him clutch here in the short shoe. Back on the loud pedal here. Doesn't seem to be lifting early in the corner. Again, not seeing that tachometer drop. That would be an indication of him clutching it, trying to save fuel. Oh, and we're under caution. Are you kidding me? Well, folks, take everything I said, crumple it up, throw it out the window. This changes everything, and we're going to have all of these trucks racked, stacked, back on top of another for a Friday night short track style shootout here for the win. Not seeing anything on the black box as far as an incident out on the racetrack. Not that that catches everything. That yellow flag had to fly for a reason. As that iRacing.com pace truck now picks up the field. It's Trailer, Nick in the 16, Matt Hayden, Jesse Calloway. The 17 piloted by Kevin Isaac Smallwood, Keith Prince, Brent C. Evans, Dennis Steele, and Nate Cogden. That's your top 10. And again, nothing showing up, and here we go. Cluster of trucks coming down pit road here. That charge being led by the 54 as Matt Hayden stays out on the racetrack. Kevin Winker in the 42. He is right back in the thick of it. As I thought he had this race locked, did not have enough. Sunoco Racing fuel in the tank had to come down pit road. And then Indianapolis doing Indy things here. With the late race caution, I cannot figure out why it came out. There had to have something had to have transpired out there on the racetrack. This is sim racing. The drivers can't throw a water bottle, a lucky penny. Their pet frog out on the racetrack. Can't do that. I believe this will invoke overtime as well. And I have scanned through the incident logs here. I am not seeing anything, at least in my timing and scoring software, that indicated why that caution flag came out. So I do apologize for that, folks. However, I can promise you, it is going to go to ballistic. As the intensity gets ready to crank up another level here at the Brickyard. Second and third biggest movers of the race out here are going to restart on the front row. Hayden and Summers up 10 and 16 positions respectively here. The 42 going to be the second truck on the second row. Inside lane for Winker. Ellison Jr. is going to join him in row number 2 on the outside. Lights go out on that iRacing.com pace truck, which means we're currently in the calm before the storm. Just like in the eye of a Category 5 hurricane. Moments, it's going to go from 0 to all-out mayhem on the racetrack as soon as that green flag gets put back in the air by Barney at the tower. Or the flag stand, I should say. Place your bets. Someone is going to have to go full-blown high-stakes Las Vegas mode here. Do we see a string of cautions here? I mean, you can't hold anything back now. You have to go for it. I mean, that late race caution virtually put everyone in the lead lap back in this race. Especially the drivers inside the top 5. Summers, Hayden, Ellison, Winker. Don't count out that 33 Genesee machine. He's been quick at times. Summers being scored in the leaders, choosing the restart in the outside lane. He's going to give Matt Hayden the bottom. Reach up, pull those belts tight one more time. Into the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Overtime racing for the win here at Indianapolis. Those two trucks in 4th and 5th did the icky shuffle coming into 1. We got problems in the back. Do we stay green? No, we do not. Caution back out. As someone got yeeted. Shades of the initial start of the race for Jacob Ellison. As the Dew crew got bad voodoo once again. And go ahead, we'll roll this back here. Let's see what happened to that Silverado here on the restart. Oh, 3 wide it looks like. Keep your eye on the back of this pack here. See all these trucks jostling for position, trying to get everything they can on this restart. As we go on board here with the 91. This is slowed down to quarter speed. It's okay to 3-way until someone gets hurt. Does the back of that 91 start this? No, the 4 loses the back of the race truck, comes down, clips the 91 at the last possible moment. Then the 4 and the 91 are doing the slide for life. The 91's going to come down in howitzer, that safer barrier. Big things popping, little things stopping here late in the race. Remember, we have 3 opportunities in overtime. Metalhead's Truck Series will give it every opportunity they can to finish this race under green flag conditions. And why am I stuck on the replay? It does not want to go back live. There we go. Don't look now. But look who has the lead. Unbelievable. Vibes of Miami from the Cup race. A little more than a week ago. had to come down pit road, talking about Tyler Reddick, had to come down pit road, give up the lead, thought his day was over. Late race caution comes out. He puts all the vibe, the spirit back in that ride, that driver of the race car. And he went out there and pulled off biblical miracles on the racetrack, and Winker trying to write up his own version. Take a look here at the pit strategy vector here really quick. You can see just 9 laps for Winker out there since he was last down pit road. 19 circuits around here for Summers. A similar story for Ellison. He's got 9 on the board as well. Everything looking good for the driver of the 42. He has been an absolute terror on these restarts. He has executed them cleanly, got the best of these other drivers with the mental strategy game in the restart zone. Can he do it one more time? Brett Summers in the 7. I mean, if he's somehow able to dethrone the 42, what would this win mean for him? I mean, he's had to come from the next county over, up 16 positions, started way in the back of this one. Everything you've done throughout the course of this race, all that hard, close quarters racing, executing on pit road. Everything you've done out there leads up to this point. A lot of these drivers up here at the front feeling confident, feel like they have a truck that's worthy of victory lane, a chance to kiss the bricks. I am sorry, but I am standing up here in the booth, and these pace laps feel like an eternity. It is killing me. I want to get back to the good stuff here. As we await to kick the pace truck back down pit road where it belongs. There it goes. Here we go. Overtime racing at Indy. It doesn't get any better than this. Grandma's got her life alert in her one hand, her kernel-free popcorn in the other. Winker is going to slam it through the floorboards, climb up the gearbox here one more time. He's going to send it up to the high side of the racetrack, block the run from the 7 as he does it again on the restart. Do we get cleanly through turns 1? And we do. The 54 opens the door. It's being challenged now for 3rd place as Winker looks in his rearview mirror and wants to see these guys mixing it up behind him. Popsicle sticks in the air, just 2 laps remaining. His trailer now able to get around the 7. Look at that 4-5. Oh my God, no. I don't believe it. We were that close to getting decked to 1 to go. The 42's madder than a Keebler elf that got demoted to Fudge Packer. They need to get a counselor, someone on the radio to calm him down, because if that was me, I would be stewing inside the cockpit of that 42. What do I got to do to win this race? And again, 18's got to run. He's got to run. He's got to need his place to fit all that energy. And boink. That Goodyear machine just stayed in the gas. Used up that the 196 incliner there. As we get set to do it all over here again. The third and final overtime attempt. We're going to step aside for a quick moment here in the booth. We're going to keep it locked on the racetrack, and we'll be back for the conclusion of this race here in 30 seconds. Race fans, welcome back to Ghost Racing Network as we are in an overtime thriller here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I want to thank everyone for joining us for this extended coverage here as we get ready to kick off our third installment of overtime. Matt Metler up in the GRN broadcast booth. Can Kevin Winker do it one more time? Does he have one more? Restart left in him. Does Trailer try to spoil the party here? Does someone get yeeted, used, and abused? All of that and more, we'll have answers here as soon as we can get rid of this pace truck. Again, want to thank everyone for joining us here along for the ride, the YouTube.com live chat this evening. Lights out on the pace truck. Reach up there, pull those belts tight one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back and watch the greatness unfold. Green flag back in the air, deja vu all over again, just like the last restart. The 42 clears the competition. This time, we are racing back to green. I can feel it. Or back to checkers. I can feel it. In the words of Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Look at all the jostling, all the blocking going on behind. Kevin Winker, who is not going to be denied. Do we get the white flag? Two trucks. Oh, we got problems again. Oh, my God, no. Final lap. The field may be frozen, or do they race it back? Believe Kevin Winker has won this race. So they're going to back the pace down. I believe the field is frozen at the moment of caution here. I know that pace truck came out onto the racetrack here, or comes back out onto the racetrack here, but white flag being shown out there on the racetrack. You see David Trailer come up and fist bump the 42. Comes off of 4. Checkered flag gonna be in the air. And Kevin Winker has done it. Barney waving the checkered flag. And Winker waxes the field here at the Brickyard. He's gonna kiss the bricks. David Trailer Jr. is going to come home second. Ashley Ellison, another junior, in third. You will hear from the top 3 drivers here post-race. It's your winning moment right here. Sponsored by Tyger Construction also. The premier sponsor of this race tonight. '92 going to come up, show him some love here. Winker comes off of 4. He gets ready to burn the house down and get the rest of those good out of those Goodyear Eagles. Winker Nation showed up, and Kevin showed up behind the wheel of that race truck and delivers a primetime win here on Ghost Racing Network. What a drive for the 42. He didn't give up. He didn't quit. He didn't lay over and die when he had to come down pit road under green flag conditions. Got a Christmas gift early in the form of a caution flag. That put him right back in this race. Shades of what we've seen in Miami in the Cup Series. It's a melee there at the start and finish line, and why not? You now get ready to talk to our top 3 finishing drivers here tonight. Top 3, excuse me. Give them a moment to celebrate with their teams. some reason I cannot grab the leader and drag him up to the broadcast booth. So I'm going to go down there and I'm going to join them in the waiting area. Joining me now in the Ghost Racing Network broadcast booth, Kevin Winker. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, hey, man, first and foremost, Winker Nation showed up tonight, not only on the racetrack and in the YouTube.com live chat. And all I could think of is this is shades of what we've seen at Miami, very similar to on the Cup side of things. I thought you had enough fuel to go the distance. Let's rewind here. Closing stages of this race, you had a commanding lead. I believe it was north of 8 seconds. All of a sudden, I see your truck peel off, pull down pit road. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I thought you had enough in the tank to make it. I thought this race was going to blow up in your face. That truck's so good out there, especially when you were out in front. I mean, no draft help, no problem. That truck was a missile. Green or yellow flag comes out. And I instantly thought, oh my God, this is Tyler Reddick all over again. And you put your own spin on the end. We then come down to the wire. Yellow flag comes out. And we go into this overtime after overtime, restart after restart. And somehow you find a way to dig deep and come out victorious. How were you able to put it all together tonight and come home with this win at an iconic racetrack?
I mean, I kind of screwed up the strategy there. Like you said, I don't know what lap that was. I think around 40. All those guys pitted, and I didn't think they could make it, so I just kind of stayed out. And then, of course, it went green, so I kind of was in a pickle, and I pitted with 10 to go, and I was like, well, my only shot really here is, for a yellow, and I got a lucky yellow there, and then all the leaders there pitted for fresh tires. I think I had like 4 laps on my tires, so it wasn't really crazy, old tires. So I knew I had a shot, and then I seen 2 other guys stay out on really old tires, so I figured if I can get around them, I could put a buffer between me and David and Nick. And I don't know what happened on those green light checkers. It was wreck after wreck after wreck. I was like, come on, let's finish it, But that's how some of these go, I guess. It would have been nice to battle out with David. I think we would have had a nice little drag race there on the white flag. But overall, it was a great race for the 42 truck tonight. First win of the season. I don't win too often, but it's always awesome to win. So yeah, it was a great race tonight. Just kind of messed up strategy, but somehow got lucky and it fell right in my lap. So I'll take it.
I think it did a little more than fall in your lap. Certainly you needed some help with that caution, but you had to get up on that wheel and go out there and make it happen on the racetrack, and you certainly delivered big time here in prime time. I got to ask you, what was your emotion like in the cockpit of that race truck, knowing that you didn't have enough gas in the tank and having to come down pit road and give up that monster lead that you had? I mean, and then walk me through that transition to when that caution came out. Did that instantly just revive your hopes and recharge you and get you refocused into this race when that happened?
Oh yeah, for sure. I probably could have ran another couple laps, but I kind of figured that if I pitted with like 10 to go, I can maybe pick up a couple more spots with the guys that are way back, and I was catching them. And then that caution came out, and that just flipped the whole script for me. I'm surprised more guys actually didn't try to stay out there. Only 2 did, so I'm surprised that most of the leaders came in there. But yeah, that was definitely the turning point of the race, and I'm kind of speechless, honestly. David had a fast truck today. Nick had a fast truck. I had a fast truck. I felt like my truck was pretty good in the long run compared to some of the other guys. I know in that early first 25 laps, because those guys burned their stuff up, and I kind of passed them and got to second there. So I think my truck was definitely a long run truck tonight. But yeah, just fell in my lap, I guess, and wrong right strategy, whatever you want to say. I parked in a victory lane tonight, so I'll take it.
Hey, that's what it's all about, man. Finding a way to get the job done and put it in victory lane, and you delivered a thriller here tonight. Before I cut you loose, man, who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done on that 42?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank my sponsor, Bruce Muehlberger Custom Homes, for coming aboard and sponsoring me in all my leagues. It's been a while since I got 42 parked in victory lane, so I'm sure he's happy to see that finally. Second, all Winker Nation. All my girlfriend Shauna, Brandon, Justin, Gordon, Brett, Nicole, Dylan, all them guys that come out every night and support me. Can't thank them enough. Nate Cogdale at Exonic Graphic Design for the awesome paint. If you need any paints, t-shirts, stickers, any of that stuff, you can check them out at Sonic Graphic Design. All my Rev boys, I guess they really didn't show up tonight, but shout out to them. I guess I think they kind of gave up on the league, but shout out to them. Putting the effort, I guess, and seeing what we can do. I know tomorrow night we run to Indy again, so this is a really good practice, I guess, race for me. So we'll see if we can go back to back tomorrow night, and then just thank Lee Gabbins for putting this on. Congrats to David and for the second P2 and Ashley for the P3, and then you for the broadcast. We appreciate it. It's always a blast to go back and watch it.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The nighttime was the right time for Kevin Winker and Winker Nation in prime time to go out there and deliver a big-time win in that 42 machine. He looks to carry the momentum tomorrow night back to the front and back to hopefully back-to-back wins for him as he celebrates the big one here at the Brickyard. Thanks for joining me up here in the booth, my friend.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too as well. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner tonight again, the 42, Kevin Winker. Still got a couple other drivers we want to get a chance to speak with tonight. Next up, driver of the 54, your second place finisher, David Trailer. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you, Matt.
Well, hey, man, 2 weeks in a row, 2 trips up to the booth. Your night tonight was an eventful one in that 54 machine. You had a lot of trench warfare battles out there on the racetrack. Walk me through your race, man. How were you able to come home with such a strong showing here at Indy?
Yeah, overall, after everything was said and done, I'm not too disappointed with second. I would have loved to battle out with Kevin there, but I learned it was one of these races where you got to be really technical. You kind of learn as you go. You learn how hard to drive it. You learn if you want to gas it up and burn it up, or save, and then come alive at the end there. And I kind of learned that in the first stage, and then played a little strategy. We got some oddly timed cautions. Kind of mixed up the field a little bit. We had comers and goers the whole race. I luckily I was able to hang out near the front most of the time, but I had the 318 had speed, the 92 had speed, the 10 had speed, a bunch of cars had speed, and then like I said, strategy kind of mixed it up. I think we were looking really, really good there, with I don't even know, maybe 10 to go, 5 or 6 to go.
Yes, sir.
I had kind of fought there with Nick. I was good on fuel. Didn't want to give up a position here. Finally got clear. Finally put a little bit of distance between me and him. And then I saw the yellow, and I knew the 42. I knew the strategy he was on. I knew he had just pitted, so I knew I was going to need a little bit of luck, a little bit of speed, and maybe a mistake from him, which is rare. But like I said, overall, just I had to work my way through it. Only had to pass a couple of cars, thankfully. It was definitely interesting for the whole 84 laps or whatever we ran. So,
yeah, thanks for that excellent analysis and breakdown there. You mentioned burning up the Goodyears. How much discipline does it take inside of the cockpit of that race truck? I mean, when you're close quarters, racked and stacked on top of each other in the draft, I mean, how much discipline does it take to know that, hey, if we get a long run here and if I keep fighting with these guys, I'm going to burn my stuff up and have nothing left? How do you maintain that composure and mindset inside the truck during the heat of the battle like that?
it's one of those things where you need to always be thinking about it. Anybody can be a hero on fresh tires. That's the level playing ground. We're all with the same ability there, and then it's being smart. Letting off a little earlier, rolling the center a little better. And just keeping them under you. Like you said, this track doesn't have a lot of banking, so it likes to eat right fronts, and it's one of those things where if you time it right, you can wear the right sides pretty equally. But it's just one of those things you get with experience. You can't be in too much of a hurry. You just got to understand, how far you can go on a fuel run, how to kind of pace yourself from there, and luckily we were able to kind of figure out the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I'll be honest with you, I learned a lot from you watching you, how you attack this racetrack out there tonight. I was taking notes, and that 54 was darn good in the draft too, by the way. I mean, you executed, in my opinion, flawlessly. All three phases of the race out there, man, just came up a little bit short. But nonetheless, a terrific run for you. Once again, momentum on your side. Who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on that 54, bud?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates, Isaac and Colton. They both had their fair share of turmoil this race between cautions or pit road penalties or just all kinds of things. So thanks to them for sticking it out with me. And then thanks to the league admins for putting this league on. I love coming here. Makes Mondays a little better. Thanks to you for putting on an awesome broadcast. I love going back and watching it and kind of seeing it from a different perspective there. And then thanks to really the most of the field for racing me clean. I know I probably gave a door to Nick and Ashley there towards the end, trying to be a little more aggressive, but I don't want to wreck anybody. But congrats to Kevin. He said he might have messed it up, but he played the strategy perfectly. And so did Ashley there, hanging in there and finding a way to get to the front at the end. So congrats to them. And then thanks to my dad watching at home and my wife for letting me do this.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, he lights up the nighttime with another phenomenal performance out of the 54 camp. Comes up just a little bit short, but nonetheless, he was vibing on the racetrack tonight. Comes home with a well-deserving second-place finish. That is the driver of the 54, David Traylor. Thanks for your time, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. 2 down, 1 to go. Next up, Ashley Ellison. You got a copy, boss man.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Dude, I am freaking fantastic after watching that race. I know some of you guys probably, didn't like the way it ended with all those restarts and overtime shenanigans, but up here in the booth, I mean, that's all you could ask for. And then look at you out there, man, just fighting, stayed with it, and able to come home third. Walk me through your race tonight.
Well, I thought it was going to be an early end after there was a wreck on the front stretch. I guess Dylan passed and somebody else got tangled up together, and
Oh, yeah.
I went flying through the catch fence. And I thought it was over there, but my teammate Caleb, Matt, and Jacob, they told me to just stick through it, and we got a long race to go. And it was just a really eventful race. Like, I was kind of glad that those cautions come out because I had to pit because I was like 4 laps short, and I knew I couldn't save 4 laps with like 10 to go. And that caution come out, and I was able to get up to 4th, and a couple other people had pitted, and I was able to get to 3rd. And it didn't give the other guys a chance to use their fresh tires, so it kind of helped me out a bunch.
Yeah, I thought you did a great job of hanging tough on the older shoes around the competition with the fresh tires, like you mentioned out there on the racetrack, especially, having to execute, restart after restart after restart. That had to be stressful, but, you're able, like you said, to snag 4th away, slot yourself into that 3rd place position, and once you got there, you didn't look back, man. You think you had anything for the 54 or the 42? Or do you think you got the best place finish possible for the performance in that truck tonight?
I mean, for what I was working with, I think 3rd's really good for me, especially the way my season has gone so far. Like, I've had these flashes of speed, and just it's stupid little mistakes that have cost me, whether it's speeding on pit road or trying to push too hard too early. Like, David was saying, you kind of learn throughout the race on what to do and when not to do it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, luck necessarily has not been on your side a lot so far this season. But tonight you turn the tables, you get that dark voodoo cloud off your back, per se, and hopefully you can take this momentum and carry it out through the rest of the season as you come home here with a solid 3rd place podium finish. Before I cut you loose, man, the floor is yours. Who do you want to thank who helps you get it done?
I gotta thank Caleb and Matt and Jacob. They helped me put in a lot of time to get ready for the next race and to keep me getting better and keep pushing to get better and not get frustrated as easy when the race isn't going my way. I gotta thank 5 Star Tire Specialties, Paper Cuts, Turbo HP Oil, my girlfriend Danny for letting me do this. Uh, just everybody in this league that races, clean and like I know everybody. We all have our moments, but this is probably the cleanest group that you could race with.
No, you're right. These guys always are respectful of other competitors out there on the racetrack and proof. You don't have to wad up race trucks out there to put on a great show. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley Ellison comes through tonight, able to turn the tides and ride that momentum all the way home to a third-place finish, going up against fresh tires, able still to hold off the charge from much of the field with a solid third-place finish. Thanks for joining me up here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Booth, bud.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for putting on the broadcast.
Hey, you're anytime, man. A pleasure being up here watching you guys do business out there on the racetrack.
All right, man. You have a great rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you, bud, for your time. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap up the interviews here from the top three from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Want to thank everyone for joining us here live tonight in prime time. Winker Nation showing up and obviously helping getting the 42 a win. But ultimately, all good things must come to an end, including this broadcast. Want to thank Tyger Contracting for coming out, jumping on board, sponsoring this race, and all the series partners and strategic alliance partners. Without all the men and women behind the scenes, this league certainly would not be able to put on the great racing product that it does consistently on a weekly basis. And as the late, great Tony Trapasso used to say, as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor. Don't play in traffic, and we'll see you